as I was going to the hotel, someone did knock on the window furiously. I don't know who it was, so if you're watching, thanks very much for this. And he sort of waved and he went that, and then he went, limp. So I went, oh, thanks, mate. If you would like to have Limp shout at you across the street, why not become a Twitch spin and go streamer, yeah? Cosmaras! Yasufile Tecan Cosmos. Look at this lovely luck you brought us, huh? You brought us this beautiful flop. Evaristofile Tecanis. Good luck. Thank you very much. As we flop our 2 pair. And mentally, you've got your sound now. Mentally, do you remember your sound track? Where is it mentally? Let's find it.
That's mental.
E.
Come off it.
Huh? Because mentally, isn't it? You know? We'll limit the Queen 10. So Jebest hasn't shown much enthusiasm to get involved in pots from the heads up small blind so far. I'm not sure they've played a heads up small blind hand yet. I'm going to check this one back because there's lots of so here I'm checking back because they repeat sometimes quite decent chunk. But also if we have given the straight draws, the 3-4, the 3-6, the 6-4, they're all going to probe. River bet 6 high, right? You're going to bet 6. When he calls and then checks, I would wait more towards showdown, probably like some sort of 5-4, 5-3 type hand. So we want a better size in there. I might go for a min. Gives him the option to do something funny with a 2, probably raise, and also gives him the opportunity, if he has got like a Jack 7 or something with a diamond, might call, might raise. Both of those are fine for me. He had a 5 as predicted, week 5 as predicted.
You're a goddamn genius.
Could we have bet bigger and one more? Maybe, but he did tank a little bit against that sizing. So that's a non-theory, that's more of a in-the-moment decision, of which if you are a spin and go player yourself, I think you can have a varying amounts of in-game adjustments. I'm someone, it's a spectrum, right? I'm someone who's quite a fan of in-game adjustments with very little data and just, just vibes, mate. No strategy, just vibes. Right? Whereas there are other people who want, much more precision. Now, I suspect we're going to go for a triple barrel here, and I suspect it's going to work. On the Mac. Hello. Good day, legends. Takes one to know one. How are you on the Mac? We're going to call our King 8. It's kind of close. Honestly, this is the first time they've played. Yeah. But I mean, we'll just hit an 8 anyway. Just get in behind. Just win, yeah. Hello everybody, Present Tomo here. As you saw in the video, there are certain adjustments you have to make when you're playing perhaps weaker opponents, if I can call it that. Is there anything specific you want to be adjusting for depending on your stakes? Is there anything specific you want to be adjusting for at the micro stakes, the low stakes, the mid stakes? Let's talk about it very quickly and very briefly in this little additional part. So, as a general trend, not always the case, but fun players when playing micro stakes are probably less protective about their chip stack. It makes sense, right? That if you, let's say, pay $1 or 25 cents to play a tournament, you're slightly less worried about the chances of going broke, and therefore, when playing recreations at that level as a default, you may be better served trying not to push them about too much with marginal hands and be a little bit more straightforward and honest and upfront and bet bigger. There are lots and lots of, obviously, adjustments and lots of nuances, but that's sort of some general advice. As you move up in stakes, some recreationals will get a bit more protective about their chip stacks and so are more bluffable in certain situations. In general, recreationals or fun players, or let's say non-full-time spin and go poker players, are sometimes not playing a wide enough VPIP heads up small blind. They're not shoving wide enough when shallow. They're actually sometimes playing too many hands on the button. And those are some, let's say, tendencies that run across the stakes, but will probably be more extreme, especially if you were to spin a big multiplier at a higher stake. So if you're playing 100x at the hundreds and there's suddenly $10,000 up for grabs, maybe a safe assumption would be on average that a fun player there may not be taking as many marginal spots as they would be playing a 2x at the $1 games. I think that makes sense, and I think that's probably pretty likely, right? One other thing I will mention is that when playing fun players, it's obviously very important to try and treat them all as individuals and realize that everybody has their own sort of unique way of looking at the game. And the more empathy you can have for your opponents and the better understanding you can have of their understanding of poker, the better understanding you can have in terms of the correct adjustments you can make, or let's say more optimal adjustments you can make in the long run. I think sometimes when you hear analysis of spots, you'll hear things like recreational players just bluff here. And whilst that's true taken as a whole, obviously when you're looking at a situation and you're playing a recreational, you're playing one recreational. And so a good question to ask yourself is, okay, I know that recreations have these certain trends that set them apart from maybe full-time players, but what do I know about this specific individual? And have I seen them do anything in particular? And so a lot of the times when I hope, if I'm A-gaming, you'll hear me reference things that I've seen. Oh, okay, I saw this person didn't see bet this A-side board, and they didn't have they had a bluff, for example, and they didn't see bet in a spot where they probably should have see bet from a theory point of view, and therefore that leads them to be more honest, and therefore we can be a bit more cautious when they now do see bet any board, because perhaps they're more weighted towards having value, and so you can make some adjustments in terms of your continuing range against some of those seat bets, or vice versa, right? Maybe they check an A-side board and they've got top pair, and then suddenly, well, if they bet that A-side board, now suddenly that's like their betting's a bit weird. All of that is obviously, you can never be perfect, but I think these are good things to think about in general when you're playing, a good skill to develop to help you win more chips at the tables in the long run. Have fun, and hope that was interesting. Let's go back to old Tomo. Looking quite handsome today, I'd say. Yeah, just don't know what it was. Just rocking a good look, I think. Not like this mess. Anyway, see you later. Cheers. Going for an auto c-bet here with our hand. I think it just benefits from folding out better, getting caught by worse. Happy days. When they check call, there could be some king highs with clubs. There could be some hearts in the back doors. Maybe some 4x or queen x, or it's less likely. Might start with a check here and just see how things develop. Don't want to get check shoved on. 2 hearts comes. Still some flush draws. Still beat some natural king 9s or something, right? I feel like that's probably where we're waiting him towards, unless he's got a 4x. He could have some ace 6 maybe. I don't know if he calls those. Betting doesn't really make sense. Checking makes all sense, so 2-4 diamonds is a hand. I suppose that kind of maybe makes sense to check call with. Checked flop. All right, so that's interesting. We see a check on that flop and then just called. So I would imagine they're fairly honest, at least in terms of their, I don't expect them to check bet here with a jack now. Their range is, with this sizing as well, probably just very air weighted, I would suggest. Now we'll find out. Some of their air is still going to bet, of course, if they have queen x or 10x. Again, I'm just giving them lots of air here, so I'm going to check this turn, even though it seems a bit debatable. This is a bit of a exploitative check, perhaps, but what a great run out to test my theory. What do we get value from? We'll find out. We have the best hand. Let's bet. We could have checked and seen the air, but I thought let's bet and see the air, because it's the air either way, right? So you can see with just those little bits of that one showdown, and then you start, it helps you with your decision making in the next hand. Unless, I mean, Broken Heresy could be like some incredible balanced guy, maybe. I would personally assume less likely, just in terms of the A-side check back on button, just arrange theory c-bet. So, sorry, Eagle, we're cheering raise 10. Alright, we'll go for a little delay, expecting us to have the best hand. Typically, still get called by worst, 9, 6, 2x with a heart, jack of hearts, whatever. Just checking here. I think there's still some 10x, weaker 10x in that range. King jack, okay, nice. Facing a check is somewhat interesting. Facing a bet is somewhat interesting. It's funny, I would call so wide here because there's so many 4-5, 4-2, 5-2, etc. I think a high 7 is just a little bit too much.
Just do it!
It would be pretty ballsy though, wouldn't it? It would be pretty cool if I... I can't do it. Sometimes I think maybe I should just do it for Twitch, but I probably shouldn't do it. That's probably pretty dumb, isn't it? That sort of goes against the, I think, ethos of the Twitch channel, which is don't play like an idiot. That's the attempt. It doesn't always work. Okay, nice to win. Barbara says, Tom, do you play MTTs also? Very occasionally. I have played, I think, 2 MTTs on Twitch historically. We're more of a spin and go, full-time spin and go guy, but lots of spin and go players are sort of moving in that direction to MTTs, some of them at least. And I think it's an interesting, I certainly am open to it. I used to play MTTs full-time for a year. It's a swingy beast. Alright, we'll start with a call. So he min-raised king queen. That's about all we've got so far. And it's got nice options. Start with a check and see the sizing will be interesting. Goes for a min bet. Now, so far we've seen his min bets not being super strong. That's based on a pretty small sample, but I think it's probably relevant on this board. Maybe he's got ace of a heart, he might do this, but let's start with a call. So I expect to go check, check a lot. And then it's just a question of... No, it doesn't. No. Ooh, I was wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Broke Arnerius, you have surprised me. Maybe. Now, very awkward spot. I guess we'll just bet, but I really don't know. Like, we could definitely go bigger, we could go smaller, we could do checking, check shoving, check calling. I think all things are super close there. We're just going to jam our queen jack for 10. 2019 HFM, if we win this 4x, 1K's it is. Agreed. If we win this, we'll go play 1K. Good luck, good luck. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much to our #1 fan and the #1 player in spins. Maybe. Probably. Possibly. Don't let it go to your head. Alright. We have a bet. I think we have a barrel. We're going to fold to a jam, so I don't want to go too big, and I want to keep some more marginal stuff in because we're going to plan to shove river. And we hope they haven't got a king, we hope they got a 6x with a diamond, or just 10 jack with a diamond, or something like that. They've got a king, so that's fine. 5 would have been a real money card. What jam ratio? Now, they limped king queen, didn't they? They didn't min raise it now I think about it. I feel like we've been slightly kind of just over limp stabbing a little bit, but I think it's okay so far, and we haven't had too many reasons to get away from it. We should probably ISO some hands at some point, but not now, baby. Little 651 reference there for you guys. I'm just going to fold. They've shown a healthy degree of honesty so far. And we'll try to limp it. It's getting close to shovable, but I think given no ISOs yet, I think we're probably more incentivized to limp fold. Power says, do you think MTTs are more swinging than spins? I was going to say it depends. I've changed my answer to yes, although it does depend. So what does it depend on? Ooh. Are you going to hate me if I fold here? Please no one watch this bit on Twitch, yeah? No one watch it, no one watch it, no one watch it. No one saw that. What happened over there? Because there was something else that happened that wasn't on the table. Just going to jam this. Okay. It's a good turn. People often admire we have certain, themes of Twitch session. We have a French section, we have a Spanish section, we have a German section. We have many different languages that we throw out. And for people who don't speak a word of those languages, it sounds quite impressive. For anyone that actually speaks any word of any language, it sounds a bit like an idiot just making stuff up. But that's, it's in the eye of the perspective, the ear of the perspective, we should say. So, okay, I'm still going to try and limp this. Our guy's only ISO'd so far 18%, and sometimes you can flop a flush.
Nice.
I don't see any read to slow play. I don't think he doesn't strike me as the most bluffy kind of guy yet, and I actually even want to size up here, and I know this looks weird. Maybe not. I guess it might make him fold like a 7 of clubs or something. Okay, we'll size up turn for sure. Like, I wonder if there's even room to jam turn, and the reason I say that is 8x with a club, 9x with a club, 10x with a club, jack with a club, 6x with a club. How can they ever fold this? Yeah, no, I'm going to jam. There you go. Good jam. We wouldn't have won more by checking. I like my jam. I like that we limped when he didn't get an ISO from King Jack. I like that we won 1K. And let's go play a 1K. Ooh. Exciting. Maybe.